Hi, what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Uri Canals. I'm from Spain, and I'm attending the conference on behalf of the Mediterranean Network of Marine Protected Areas Managers, Ventin.
Yeah. So, what are you looking to get out of COP?
Oh, well, the COP is interesting, especially now for the all the debates and all the negotiations targeting oceans. So, as managers of marine protected areas, we are very concerned about the consideration by the governments of the value of the ocean and the big contribution that the ocean plays to regulate the climate that has been ignored for a long time since the beginning of the existence of the convention. So it's time to pay attention to the ocean.
For sure. How did you start? Why did you What motivated you to start working on climate issues?
Well, if you observe what's happening in the sea, you see that there's in tropical waters this coral bleaching. For instance, in the Mediterranean, we don't have coral reefs, but we also observe the impact of climate change by disappearance of certain species, arrival of other species that before the climate change they were not able to survive, and now they are expanding and changing completely the ecosystem, but especially a big shift in the impact of storms. So we have more and more impact in the coast, especially some beaches are disappearing, and a lot of transformation in the ecosystem is happening because the Mediterranean is experiencing a higher level of heating. The temperature is increasing more than in other oceans of the world.
Sure, yeah. Do you think there's any misinformation surrounding climate issues?
Absolutely, there's misinformation, and for me the main element that is missing is that for decades we put the effort just targeting fossil fuels, which is why it's one of the elements that obviously contributes to climate change, but it's not enough. The convention didn't target actions on ecosystems. Just recently with the red mechanism for avoiding deforestation and changes in the use of the land, but still the big ecosystem regulator, which is the ocean, was not considered. And for me, this is a absolute lack of right information to people, because people think that it's just a question of using or not using the car, and it's much more than this. See, if we don't take care of nature, it serves of nothing, the regulations on the energetic level. So we need to work in both changing the sources of energy, but also investing more on nature conservation, because it's the great regulator of the amount of carbon in the atmosphere. So this is an information that the majority of people don't understand, because unless you are a scientist or you are very involved on the NGOs or a specific work targeting these topics, the majority of the public don't know about this.
Yeah, exactly. So how's your COP experience been so far these few days?
Well, I just arrived today, so I don't have experience specifically of this COP, but I have experience of previous COPs. I've been attending many COPs since 2005. Yeah, it was the first one. It was in Montreal, then in Nairobi, and in Bali, in Copenhagen. So I just missed the last two, I think. The COP, there are many things you can do here. If you are just interested in the negotiations at high level, probably you can do very few actions unless you are in a country delegation. But there's a lot of activity, especially inside events, to connect with people, to pass messages, and also in fact, you are spending here 1 or 2 weeks, but it's like having maybe 3 months of activity around the world, because the possibility to exchange and to talk with people it's amazing, and also to pass let's say, target messages to authorities and what they want to hear at the complementary parts of climate change that initially they are not very interested on that.
Yeah, for sure. Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you.
Thank you. And sorry, what's your name again? What's your name again?
Puri Canals is just okay. It's just
Yeah.